sexual assault wrong? Sexual assault is fucked up. Sexual assault is the most baffling fucking thing in the world to me. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to forcibly put your body part near someone else's body part, penetrate them, or other way around? It can happen with both genders. It's just so easy not to rape people. It's literally just don't do it. And the whole like, oh, she's dressed this way, she's asking for it, he's dressed this way, no, that's not it. That's not, the clothes you're wearing is not gonna, it's not like an invitation for sex. Just because I'm wearing short shorts in public means I'm asking for it.
No, and but that's what you're saying. You're saying I'm asking for unwanted attention that could lead to physical touching and sexual encounters because I'm showing parts of my body that aren't normally shown.
Were you wearing this? Were you drinking that night? Have you had a boyfriend that you've had sex with?
People associate victim blaming with drinking and drinking too much, blaming them. So I held this bottle of wine and I would say oh, here you're tipsy, maybe here you text your ex, and then maybe here you get raped.
You know, it's a very intimate time between two people. It's something that you don't share with everybody. Any time that you're attacked when you're the most vulnerable can mess you up for life.
Why, how is that okay? Honestly, how do people think that doing something like that is okay? That's a person, and you just hurt them in one of the most deep ways possible.
That is the worst thing you could possibly do to anybody.
The guilt that you might feel when it happens, that shouldn't be on you. You haven't done anything wrong, and you aren't bad in any way. It's the other person who screwed up. It's the other one who messed up. It's the other one who fucked up. It's not on
you. I remember reading in history books a lot in high school that was just so normalized. In history, people would pillage villages and then rape everyone. And that really you don't really think about the significance of that, but it was just a systematic way to shut down towns and countries by other countries. And that's why people kind of think it's okay today, I think, because it's just so embedded in cultures.
Sexual assault's become such a huge problem in our culture, mostly because of the media. People, they're not asking the other person for consent. Well, what should be normal is asking for consent and asking what people want rather than it just happening.
I don't understand why people get away with this constantly, why it gets excused in the media.
Human decency and common knowledge is no longer common anymore. You cannot believe that everyone just knows what is right or wrong anymore because the shit you hear is just obscene.
Communication is just very taboo, especially when you're in a sexual situation. It just feels like you shouldn't be talking about it. I think the big issue is lack of communication.
By saying it's taboo, it's just no one wants to say it. No one can just say rape or assault because it just no one wants to hear it. It's the same thing with murder or homicide. It's just hard for people to hear.
That stereotypical Law & Order SVU attack in a dark alley in New York City. But it's people 4 out of 5 times. It's someone that you're friends with, family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, something like that. You don't see someone who gets shot and go, oh, well, why weren't you wearing a vest? Why were you wearing a bulletproof vest? We weren't prepared to get shot. And it's well, why do I have to be prepared to get raped?
I've been sexually assaulted 3 times, twice at home, once in New York City, and it was my going into sophomore year of high school, going into junior year of high school, going into senior year of high school. And I think the one that affected me the most was the one going into my senior year of high school because that was the one that I decided to actually speak up and go to an authority figure about it. I talked to a police officer about it. She was a woman, so I expected to have a little bit more understanding. And one of the things she asked me was, did you say no? And I didn't say no because I froze up. I learned through the past 2 times that fighting is not always the best solution. I told the policewoman that I didn't give consent, and she said we don't have a case. but the way she told me, it was just like the way she looked at me. Oh, sometimes you can just tell that someone really isn't listening and someone really isn't there, and I could feel judgment. I felt angry this time. In the past, I had felt like sad. I felt really ashamed. I felt dirty. And the third time it happened, I felt mad. And I was gonna work towards a solution, and once I started working towards it, it gave me a dead end. And that really frustrated me. And I talked to my coach, and he was a cop. And he told me to stop being a victim. And that was one of the best things he could have told me. If someone ever touches you like that, or if ever someone rapes you or assaults you, you are a victim, and that's okay. But if you allow yourself to feel like a victim and like let it affect every aspect of your life, that's letting someone else, someone bad, someone not good, take control of your life. And that's not okay. But if you fight and you remind yourself that you're the one who's in charge of your life and that you can take steps to get better and you can reach out and you can do certain things and you're better than whoever touched you and whoever did anything to you, then you can get better. You don't have to be a victim, you can be a fighter. And that's a whole lot better way of thinking about it. Just think about that you're a fighter and not a victim. You're fighting for yourself, and that's definitely someone worth fighting for.
Sexual assault is wrong.
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 Sexual assault is wrong. Sexual assault is wrong.
Sexual assault